Good morning, Twin Flame peeps out there. My name is Dagmar, and I want to talk to you today about being beware of being sold on your Twin Flame's love. You know, sometimes during our Twin Flame journey, we can get pretty desperate when it comes to our Twin Flames. So, for example, during the times when our Twin Flame rejected us, isn't speaking to us, is away from us, but we're in that Twin Flame journey with them where we have met them, and we've gone perhaps back and forth between being runner chaser with them and all that good jazz. There can be a time when we feel this intense longing for them, to be with them, and they're not there, and it can be so intense that it can hurt very badly, and it can put us in this desperate situation or mode where we do just about anything or pay anything to have them be close to us, to come to us, to be physically with them. And it's happened to me because I know I've been there. I mean, I had a situation one time where I was in that longing with my Twin Flame, and I was so desperate, I was so hurting for him that I actually had talked to a psychic online, and they proceeded to tell me how for an additional $500 they would put together some wax statue and put us together and make sure that we come in union with each other and all that good jazz. And even though intellectually I knew that it was a bunch of bullshit, I still went down to King Soopers, I remember, to pay this woman $500 over whatever the quick money thing is that you send out. And because I was so desperate emotionally, even though intellectually I knew it was all wrong, it was all not the right thing to do, and that it was a bunch of BS and she was just trying to make money from me. But I was just so desperate. And I know some of you are there. So I want to speak to those of you who are in that position, because like I say, we're ready to do anything and everything to just be with our Twin Flame. And luckily when I went to the King Soopers, the machine to send the money out didn't work. And it was basically my spirit saving me from paying out $500 to this woman completely unnecessarily, because I was so desperate emotionally to be with my Twin Flame at that moment. I was embarrassed about it. It was like nothing I would normally do. So I know what it's like to be in that position of longing for them, that we're so deeply hurting that we're ready to do just about anything. And that's why I'm putting this video together, because it is on those times that, sometimes people can prey on us. And so I want to let you know that, even though you're desperate and longing with your Twin Flame for your love, you don't need anybody to sell you on, quote unquote, getting your Twin Flame, or that your Twin Flame will love you after whatever you do. Your Twin Flame will always love you, okay? Your Twin Flame, you and your Twin Flame have unconditional love for each other and will always have that spiritually, okay? Whether your Twin Flame is rejecting you in the moment of the physical realm of being human right now, or you're in separation with them for whatever reason, or they're married, or they're in jail, or where they're not available for you, that is happening for a reason. And I'll go into that in a moment. But your Twin Flame on a spiritual level will always love you. Know that. They do. You have this unconditional love between each other, and everything that you guys are creating with each other is actually out of love for each other, okay? So don't let anybody tell you that, your twin flame, you have to jump through these hooplas in order for your Twin Flame to love you, or that you need to get your twin flame. I hate that term, get your twin flame, because, it's like your twin flame isn't a possession. And to think of love as a possession is not really love. It's not about possessing your twin flame. You will always come back together with your twin flame when the time is right, okay? Whether it's in this life, in another life. And there is a reason you met your twin flame, okay? And your soul's journey may not be to wind up in this fairy tale, permanent, forever union, where you live happily ever after, quote unquote, married to each other, okay? That is a fairy tale. That's the human psyche, wanting to be in the safety, loving, blissful way of being. But that's not how reality works, okay, without twin flames. Twin flames separate, then they come together, then they separate, they come together. And they usually come together at times in which they need each other. And there is a reason for twin flames to coming together. And while it is in our psyche, or in our divine nature, if you will, to want to be with our twin flame, okay, it is not always your soul's path to wind up there happily ever after, married to them physically in this world, okay? Doesn't mean that you may not come into union with them at all. It could be that you're in union with them for a little while. In my case, I was, first we went through this back and forth and separation, coming together, separation, coming together. Then we came together for a little bit longer, then for a little bit longer, then we lived together for a while. And then as I healed, my spirit prompted me to leave the relationship because it was no longer serving me, or no longer serving us, okay, him too. But, that's just how it is, And so what I'm trying to say is that it's not always the goal to be in union with your twin flame, especially if your twin flame is living a low vibration type life. And you say your purpose is living a much higher vibration, and what your divine soul mission here is on earth requires that you move into the higher vibration, and your twin flame decides to stay in the low vibration. You don't want to be with them through that, because then you're experiencing all that drama, and it's pulling you down in your vibration and defeating your purpose here on earth. So it depends on what your soul purpose is, But the reason that twin flames actually do come together is to help each other in terms of their spiritual growth, all right, to resolve their karma with each other, which is usually past life unresolved experiences. And sometimes part of the separation is about unresolved past experiences. Because if just think about how many lifetimes perhaps you have had and lived with your twin flame, and had events with each other, and perhaps losses too, where you were separated, and it was painful, the separation, right? And some of these losses may not be healed, so therefore you're actually recreating some of that at the present time, so that you'll hopefully connect with it and hopefully heal some of those losses. And so the key is to heal the relationship, to heal the losses, the past that you've experienced, so that you don't have to keep recreating that with your twin flame, and thus the relationship naturally improves, and you're able to easier come together and kind of partake in each other's love more, rather than in the healing of things, or in the unresolved experiences, the painful parts of it, in other words. And it's interesting, because a lot of the things out there around the whole twin flame love that's being promoted is the union. And we don't have to promote the union, because naturally we are, as twin flames, programmed to want to be in union, okay? But again, it's not necessarily the goal of the soul or the purpose, okay? Although there's a purpose behind the drive of the union, and that is because that's what allows us to resolve the karma. That's what causes us to trigger off of each other, okay? The togetherness part, if you will. And but we got to make medicine out of it. We have to heal it, otherwise it's, it doesn't serve its purpose there, right? But that's what the purpose of the drive is, because the magnetism, the intensity between twin flames, believe it or not, is actually the baggage that we carry. It's the unresolved karma. It's the unresolved pain experiences. And that's what has the intensity and magnetism with a twin flame. And I found for myself throughout my own journey that that is what lessens with your twin flame when you heal, okay? The intensity, tends to diminish, go away, and what's left over is the plain love, which is more feels like a compassion with the person, like you want to be with them, a likeness of them, you have the same vibration with them, you want to be around them, but it's not the intensity part. It's not the driving you crazy part, the addictive part and all that stuff. So, but I want to forewarn you specifically about certain things that I've seen out there, and one of them is the teaching around how to get to your twin flame with the power of now. And I just want to touch on that because while the power of now, that means you basically disconnect from your twin flame, you're focusing on your present time and that good jazz, and hopefully, if the twin flame is a runner, they'll actually turn around and come chasing you and want to be with you, so to speak. And in some instances it works. But there is a short-sightedness with that, and that is because when you actually disconnect from everything and then you're in the power of now, you are disconnecting basically from your unresolved past stuff. And so when you disconnect from your unresolved past stuff, you're actually not in a position of healing it, all right? And life and the soul actually causes situations in your life to connect you with your unresolved stuff so that you may heal it, okay? So you're working against the whole idea of connecting to your unresolved stuff so you can heal it. Because if you do heal your unresolved stuff, okay, then you can easily be in the power of now, okay? Because see, for some people it may not even work to completely disconnect and be in the power of now if they're carrying a lot of unresolved stuff, because it's not easy to do that, okay? If you have a lot of unresolved issues in your ego, a lot of people are stuck in there constantly because they're constantly being triggered by something, okay? And so, but the more you heal your unresolved stuff, which is the whole idea right now, which we are in a lifetime right now in which we're more supported than ever before to heal and resolve our karma, okay? And what that is, okay, to be more specific for those of you who are not familiar with my work, is that we live life and we experience pain and we experience trauma, which is part of our third dimension and part of how our soul learns, okay? The issue becomes when we don't fully digest that pain. Okay, so say, for example, whatever your experiences was too intense, you didn't want to deal with it, you kind of shove it under the carpet, so to speak, and it becomes this unresolved experience. And when it's unresolved, okay, that's when it becomes baggage. All right, because the soul, in essence, cannot learn from the unresolved experience. And so what happens is that we try to recreate a similar experience in present time to help us reconnect with the old experience. So hopefully we may properly digest the pain behind it, because once we digest the pain, we're actually transforming the experience into wisdom for the soul, where the soul learns. And I'm sure, just to give you an idea, might have met people who are, let's say, they look like they never learn from a certain issue, and they keep repeating it constantly, right? And so you're like questioning their intelligence, like, what's wrong with you? Why, you're not learning here. Well, it has nothing to do with the person's intelligence, but rather because they haven't digested their pain. They keep shoving it under the carpet, okay? So when we're speaking about the power of now and being connected to, in the present time, and disconnecting, yes, we can totally disconnect from unresolved stuff, although sometimes it can be difficult to do so if you have a lot of it, okay? But when we do, we feel better, of course, because we're not connected to unresolved stuff. But at the same time, we're really defeating or undermining the purpose why we met our twin flame in the first place, which is to resolve our karma, to help us grow. And so, while we may get our twin flame, all right, and feel in a bliss, okay, we're really defeating the purpose of why we're here, why our twin flame came to us, all right, to help us resolve certain issues, a certain past, to help us grow, to help us awaken, and so forth and so forth. So, depending on how you're using the power of now, it can have a negative connotation to it if you're, not using it correctly for the correct purposes. I mean, yes, it's all nice to feel good, and be with your twin flame. But, is that your purpose here on earth? Is that your divine soul's mission, to be in a permanent union with your twin flame and not to grow? So anyway, I just want to help you understand some of that, because I think I've seen some of those teachings out there about it, and I don't agree with them because I think they're very short-sighted. That's my take on it. So I believe that, like I say, you met your twin flame for a reason. And I think that it's about healing, it's about our growth, and especially nowadays, right now, because of the ascension process, it's all about that, because the only way we're going to ascend higher is by offloading the karma that we keep carrying. And it's kind of like, because the karma basically consists of the unresolved pain, which is heavy on our soul vibrationally, it's difficult to rise into a higher vibration. And so it's all about offloading our karma, okay? Because if you imagine a hot air balloon, okay, and how a hot air balloon rises, it's when we throw out those sacks of sand. And imagine those sacks of sand being your unresolved karma, your unresolved pain, okay? And when you properly integrate those experiences and heal them, then it's kind of like throwing out those sacks of sand in the hot air balloon so the hot air balloon can rise, and thus you can rise. Because I've experienced this in my practice many a times, when we do enough healing with a person, they actually rise vibrationally, and they're able to sustain being more in joy and peace and so forth, instead of experiencing all the low vibration, emotions of, sadness, anger, apathy, depression, and all that stuff. They're much more in the higher vibrations of joy, and things flow better and so forth. And that's the higher vibration. And so life is much, much more fun and easier in the high vibration, So, there's a lot of learning for us, us as souls. And I just wish for you to be open to that, and to make medicine out of your, twin flame journey. Because no matter where you are with your twin flame, if you met your twin flame, even if you're in separation, you are still in relationship with them. And there is a reason why the separation is happening. You know, what is it you and your twin flame are trying to recreate from the past that you need to heal? You know, and if you do heal that, yes, there's a chance of you guys coming together. And you know, but it may be temporary, and you know, it depends on what your soul's journey is, what your soul's purpose is. So but I think the key aspect to it is to becoming whole as a soul, because we do fracture our soul, we do fragment it through the course of pain and trauma, and we do create unresolved stuff through the pain and trauma. And so, but the good news is that all that can be healed. We're resilient as souls. And it's amazing what a difference you can make for yourself in your life when you start actually healing yourself and properly integrating these experiences, because it frees you up as a soul. It allows you to be really who you are, because as long as we have the unresolved experiences in our present time, you know, they act as a dysfunction in our life, they act as a clutter to our soul, and we keep recreating similar instances of pain and so forth. When we, you know, clean all that up, then it frees up your soul to really live the life that you're meant to live, to really be able to manifest, you know, with your thoughts and what it is you really want. Because a lot of times we manifest with our unresolved stuff, you know, and it usually overrides our thoughts because it's backed up by pain, which is a lot, has a lot more intensity as far as charge to it. So anyway, I wish you guys a wonderful journey, and I hope that this helps you understand certain things just a little bit better on your journey. And if you do want some help with the healing process, I do private sessions. I also teach the healing process, quantum healing, past life regressions, and all that good jazz. So if you're interested in becoming a spiritual healer, I have programs for that. So there's a lot of opportunity here for you to embark on a beautiful journey and, you know, make medicine out of the whole thing and actually improve you and who you are and help yourself self-actualize yourself, if you will, and live the life that you're really meant to live, and enjoy and peace and so forth. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and till next time.